Between May 22, 2025, a major incident that drew widespread attention occurred in Yibin, Sichuan. A 22-year-old textile worker, whose wages had been deducted, set fire to the Jinyu textile factory in anger after repeatedly demanding his pay in vain, igniting a blaze that lasted 3 days. This man-made fire not only caused serious property damage but also stirred a huge sensation on social media, where netizens expressed overwhelming supportive support and regarded the worker as a hero. According to multiple netizens and on-site eyewitnesses, at around 11 a.m. on May 20, the Jinyu textile factory in Pingshan County, Yibin suddenly caught fire. The cause pointed to a 27-year-old male worker who, because his resignation had not been approved and 800 yuan had been inexplicably deducted from his wages, lost control of his emotions after many unsuccessful attempts to claim his pay and ultimately chose an extreme form of protest. Other reports say that before setting the fire, the worker stabbed a finance staff member closely connected with the factory owner, further heightening the tension of the event. After the fire broke out, thick black smoke billowed upward, and the blaze was once hard to control. Although the fire brigade quickly arrived, large amounts of flammable materials such as cotton stored in the plant allowed the fire to burn for more than 37 hours before it was preliminarily contained. During this period, parts of the plant buildings were badly damaged and the economic losses were heavy. The incident spread rapidly on China's social media platforms, and public opinion overwhelmingly supported the worker involved. Many netizens believed that although the worker's action was extreme, the root cause lay in the company's bullying attitude of exploiting workers and withholding wages. The comment section was filled with phrases like, "This is the people's anger, workers' wrath," and "people's hero," with supporters praising the worker's courage and viewing him as a symbol of fearless awakening. At the same time, the owner of Jinyu Textile Factory became the target of public criticism. Netizens generally thought that although the incident was extreme, it reflected the long-term, widespread oppression suffered by grassroots workers. Some comments sharply pointed out, "This time the boss finally knows what it feels like for a migrant worker to lose 800 yuan. Others mocked, "Although the factory got beaten up, at least the boss really saved 800 yuan in wages." This sentiment reflected the public's strong dissatisfaction with unjust labor treatment. In addition, many netizens expressed willingness to donate money to the worker's family and raise funds to hire a lawyer. The comment area was flooded with lines such as, "If the young hero publishes an account number, even if I'm poor, I'm willing to give 3 or 500. And those who carry firewood for the many must not be allowed to freeze to death in the snow," showing the high identification and solidarity among grassroots laborers. This incident did not happen in isolation. In recent years, collective protests such as workers demanding wages and farmers defending their rights have occurred frequently all over China. On May 21, 2025, farmers in Langfang, Hebei, whose land had been expropriated, again gathered in front of the Guangyang district government offices to protest, becoming the sacrifices of national glory and face projects. This protest was part of a larger movement against land requisition for a long time. Farmers had suffered drastic economic and lifestyle upheavals without receiving fair compensation. Background information shows that land in the Langfang area was used to build large infrastructure projects, often promoted as national glory or face projects, but in reality farmers were forcibly deprived of their land, losing the farmland and homes on which they depended. Reports say that on May 20 some villagers said they had been summoned for questioning by police the day before, and the police tried to stop them from continuing their protest. Villagers expressed strong dissatisfaction, saying that the land requisition process lacked transparency, the compensation standards were unreasonable, and the government had failed to provide sufficient transitional resettlement measures. Some villagers mentioned that after their land was taken, the promised job opportunities and economic support had not been realized and their lives had fallen into difficulties. During the protest, villagers shouted slogans and displayed banners, demanding that the government keep its promises and calling for fair treatment. This incident was not the first. As early as March 2025, farmers in the Langfang area had repeatedly petitioned and gathered to express dissatisfaction over land requisition, but because of official suppression and media silence, those voices failed to spread widely. The May 21 gathering again ignited public attention, with netizens expressing support on social media and criticizing the government for sacrificing farmers' interests to face projects. Comments included "farmers' blood and tears" and "national glory." Farmers' pain, reflecting strong public dissatisfaction with unfair land requisition. Meanwhile, workers at the Qianlima embroidery factory in Haimen, Nantong, Jiangsu, also went to the factory and the boss's home on May 19 and 20 for 2 consecutive days to demand wages, but likewise failed. Villagers in Shikshanyu area Shaanxi sat in protest over relocation transition fees. Together, these events constitute a broader discontent pattern, showing that the survival pressure on grassroots workers and rural residents is increasing. Because the Chinese Communist Party adopts a strategy of forbidding traditional media reports and banning social media dissemination of such events, most incidents have not entered the public eye, and over the long term and officially advocated correct collective memory. The so-called peaceful and prosperous era has taken shape. However, the outbreak of the Yibin incident, like a fuse, ignited countless people's resonance and anger, revealing a different reality. The Yibin textile factory fire is not just the outbreak of an individual event, it is a concentrated embodiment of social injustice and economic pressure. 800 yuan may be a mere trifle to the factory owner, but for a grassroots worker it may be the bottom line of survival. Although such extreme behavior is undesirable, it, like a stark visual metaphor, reminds people that long accumulated frustrations and anger cannot be suppressed indefinitely. Furthermore, the incident also exposes the current difficulties in defending labor rights in China. Workers often face a situation where they have nowhere to demand wages and limited legal avenues, while corporate irresponsibility is, to some extent, indulged. Netizens' reactions show that public tolerance for such injustice is wearing thin, calling for deeper social change. In the future, how to ease the survival pressure on grassroots laborers and protect their legitimate rights will become a major issue that urgently needs to be resolved.